Hey, everybody. Welcome to our presentation for the 8-Minute Trader. This is Jordan Rosario, one of our community support leaders here in our absolutely amazing community. And I want to go ahead and just welcome you into the call. I want you to type in this word for me, just one quick word for me, and type in welcome. W-E. In fact, I will go ahead and I will put that on the chat for everybody. Welcome. Now, I say this particular word a whole lot in my life instead of welcome. I've been saying welcome instead of welcome for a while now. And the reason I do that is because each and every day when I say the word welcome, I am commanding the universe, I'm commanding the higher powers that be to have wealth come into my life. Again, I want to welcome everybody into today's presentation. I hope each and every one of you are doing absolutely amazing. All right, I don't want to necessarily get the show started too early. I do see that I have one of my amazing leaders, Bob Byram, absolutely amazing man that I've had the privilege to know for about 6 to 7 months. Bob, how do you feel? Do you think now is a good time to get the party started? Do you think we need to wait a couple of minutes?
I always like to wait, but no way, man. We're ready to go. This is Saturday, and you snooze, you lose. And you're going to do an amazing job, man. And looking forward to a new week. Every day, I'll just tell you guys, every day, it's like I wake up on Saturday and go, oh man, we're missing the community, but we're getting together here. We're looking at an amazing opportunity. I hope you guys brought some friends with you, and I can't wait till Monday already, and it's Saturday. That's crazy.
I know when you think about it, before I really got started into Forex trading, and I don't know if anyone has been a part of the Forex trading industry up until now, but for me, I always disliked Mondays. I don't want to say the word hate. Hate's a very strong word, but I've always disliked Mondays because, well, I go into a job or I go into a profession that I didn't necessarily enjoy, that I wasn't passionate about, and it just drained me from the week of Monday to Friday. And then, of course, Friday comes around, the most energized because I am desiring to get out of that particular job. But this is much more different. See, we trade Monday to Friday in the financial trading market, and this is the opportunity where I actually dislike the weekends, believe it or not, because I cannot trade. I cannot grow my skill. I cannot do the thing that I enjoy doing, which is trading, being able to trade all the different financial instruments. However, we will go ahead and we'll get into that. So first and foremost, once again, everybody, I want to welcome you into our 8-Minute Trader presentation. I am one of our community support leaders, Jordan Rosario, again, and here we're going to show you specifically what we're doing to thrive in today's economy. Now, let's talk about today's economy because there are so many different things that are going on when we really think about what is going on in today's world. In fact, if you have a moment, go ahead and put in the chat for me, what are some of the things that you hear about when you're talking about today's economy? I mean, for me, I always think about inflation. I always think about the stock market, either going up or going down. It seems like since our high point back at the late part of last year, I feel like we've been going down. So crypto, of course, so we got crypto and what's going on with, everything happening with FTX. So it feels like almost every opportunity that is out there, it's scary to put your trust into something. It's scary to put your trust into something, into people, into a relationship nowadays where you don't feel like you're going to get burned by the other side. So, what is the solution, right? What is the solution to making sure you are taking responsibility of your own money taking responsibility and putting yourself in a position for success, not only just for the short term, but for the long term as well. And that solution is the 8-minute trader community to thrive. And once again, thrive in today's economy where we can get past all the noise of inflation and recession and even talks of depression and crypto and all that nonsense. We take the noise out, and instead we feed you information that is going to provide long-term success for not only you, but for your family. And we solve the problem of breaking the generational curse, and instead providing generational wealth to you and your families and to everyone that comes after us in a matter of speaking. So let's continue. So when we really think about today's world, most people are trying to survive. I mean, I've said it before. Right now, we're going through a period of inflation. Right now, we're going through a period of recession. I was just reading this particular story over this past week where, if I don't know if anyone has ever, or if you have any friends or family that has worked at the railroad industry, but I was reading this interesting news article, this news segment, where employees of the railroad industry had to wait 3.5 years to get a raise. 3.5 years. Now, I'm hoping, I envision that you may not be in that position where you have to wait 3.5 years in order to make a raise. But if you think about it, living in that world amidst everything else that's been going on, pandemics and all that, imagine just trying to survive in a world like that. Not even thinking about how to thrive or how to even imagine or envision prosperity and abundance into yourselves, but even just trying to survive in a world like that, where the last raise that you got was 3.5 years ago. Now, luckily, what we have right here, is not designed for you to get your first raise in 3.5 years, right? It's not designed to do that. But instead, you are the commander of when you want to make a raise in this industry. We're going to go ahead and talk more about that, but just think about it for a moment. Everyone is in this position where, we're trying to pay bills and we're trying to make rent. And, I've been there. I was most recently put in that position where it was hard for me to make rent. It was hard for me to pay bills, and it got very bad up until, I had the pleasure of, meeting Sal Leto back in April 1st of this year. And from there, it's just been an absolute amazing tidal wave of what I like to call blessings, favor that come to me. And I want to make sure that I pay it forward by painting the same picture for you, and specifically what we've got going on right here. And again, we're all worried about what's going on with inflation. You know, um, I've been reading reports, thankfully, that the those reports of inflation are starting to cool down, but we're all worried about it. We're worried about, what we can actually get at the grocery store nowadays with, some of us are spending maybe $20, $50, $100. What we could spend at the grocery store for that amount of money nowadays is not the same amount that we can spend 3 to 5 years ago. Everything is rising. Groceries, gas, rent, cell phone, electricity. You can name me some other bills in the chat, but there is a lot that has been going up, and the wages that we get at a job does not necessarily match that in rising cost. We're in a sense struggling to make a way to get us out of that hole. And when we get to that point, it could seem very worrying. It could seem very daunting. And I don't want to be Mr. Doom and Gloom kind of guy. That's not my role here. But if we want to imagine what today's world is like nowadays, we do seem to be put in that particular position. So, what we need to start doing at this very particular moment is to take control of our own financial future. First and foremost, we need to stop trusting other people with our hard earned money. I've talked about the stock market, financial advisors, you know, back from its high point in late last year, around November, December of 2021, the stock market has unfortunately been a little bit bearish for us. We look into crypto, there are so many, and I've been a part of it. There have been so many particular crypto platforms that have either been rug pull scams or what I like to call the investment pool has dried up. And of course, we know about the story of what's going on with FTX and Sam Bankman Fried and how many investors have lost in that particular deal. And the list goes on. I'm not going to disparage anybody. I'm not going to name any names, but personally, before I met Sal and before I met the Trader community, I was a part of two trading platforms that ultimately did not work out in my favor. And so we need to stop trusting other people with our hard-earned money. And again, instead, put the power back into our own hands. Stop trusting other companies to trade your money for you. Most of these companies are not compliant with financial regulations. They overpromise but underdeliver, and you never get your money back. And so understanding all that is going on, how come we don't take more responsibility? How come we, instead of trusting other people to make the money that I or you or we want, we instead transfer that power, transfer that ability, and instead we allow ourselves to make our own money when we want to, how we want to, and how much we want to as well. It's the 21st century. There is enough technology and education available to you right now to grow your money yourself, and we're here to show you how. I don't know if anyone has been able to listen to the great Tony Robbins, but his objective and our objective is to turn decades, and trust me, we have got coaches on here with decades of trading experience, and we want to turn that decades of experience and turn that into days for you, because we envision in this community that we are growing an army of master traders ready to tackle and command the financial markets that are out there. Now let's talk about how we're going to go ahead and get that done. First, we want you to understand that you can do this from anywhere in the world. Now, as an example, right? I am primarily located in Denver, Colorado. That's where my home is. However, I am here just as a lot of people. We're traveling all over the world, to spend time with our families for the holidays. We had Thanksgiving for all of our Americans out here. And we're also going to be looking into Christmas and to New Year's. And, for most of us, and I remember this experience where I couldn't celebrate Christmas with my family at one point because of a job. A job forced me to spend Christmas alone. And that was one of the most depressing times of my life. And I do not wish that upon anybody. And so luckily with this particular skill, you can do this from anywhere in the world. You could be with your families. You could trade on the beach as this lovely picture describes. You can go anywhere you want in the world. The only three piece of technology that you need is a computer, a cellular device, and some Wi-Fi. If you got all three things, or even two of those three things, you could just have a computer and Wi-Fi. More of the point, if you got internet and a working device, then you're all set. That's all you need. So you could do this from anywhere in the world that you would like to. And again, that right there is the one of the principles of freedom. Not being stuck to an office somewhere, not being stuck to a location somewhere. Instead, you have the ability to do this wherever you would like. Now, what we're going to teach you here in our academy is to learn how to compound your money. Now, everyone knows who Albert Einstein is. And Albert Einstein talks about the eighth wonder of the world. The eighth wonder of the world is compound interest. He who understands it earns it, and he who doesn't understand it pays for it. So that quote, which is timeless, Forex trading, what we have right here, our community, it is designed to help you learn how to compound your money so that you can allow that seed that you plant, so to speak, you can learn how to grow that seed, and you can learn a skill that will continue to allow you to compound your money and to really affect what financial power you have right now. Money stays in your control. You're not passing this off to me. You're not passing this off to my amazing panelist, Bob. You're not passing this to our company. You have control in your own Forex broker, in your own trading account, how much money you want to trade with, how much profit you want to withdraw, how much money you want to take out of it, how much you want to put in. All of that is under your control. That's not up for us to decide, and that's not up for us to handle. All the power, all the control of that stays with you. And there's no experience needed. No, I remember, my first experience in the market, which goes back to about November of 2020. It was a little bit of a journey for me. Thankfully, that journey you don't have to go through because you have an experienced team guiding you step by step along this process. And based what I've seen so far from where we started to where we are right now, I'm actually super jealous of each and every one of you that's coming on to day one, because whoa, the value you're getting on your first day. And trust me, I've got a tremendous amount of value when I first started, but you guys are getting, maybe, I want to say, and Bob, I don't know if you want to back me up on this, twice, 3, 4x, 5x. I would even dare say 10x compared to what I had when I first started. And again, I got a tremendous amount of value from it. So you guys are going to get a super amount of value.
It's absolutely unbelievable what's happening. We've been looking forward to this day. Everything's been developing from the very beginning, and it's just getting better. Every week it's getting better. Last week was a super exciting week, and we had some huge wins, and everybody's excited about the new software, the community. I mean, every bit of what we're doing here, our partnership with Longevity. I'm just saying, a lot of times we have this cliche saying you're at the right place at the right time. Well, guess what? It keeps getting better than that. And those of us that have been with the 8-minute trader from the beginning and testing, we're blessed, but we went through the tough stuff. Now it gets better and better for everybody that's joining us now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, just again, coming back to what we have right now, and, And again, I'm not going to, I don't mean to be a tease, but what's going to be coming down the pipeline? Ooh, ooh, you guys are absolutely, you guys are absolutely in for a treat. And by the way, I really just want to point this out. This is super important. Low minimum capital. Now, I have been in positions in my life where I didn't have $100 to my name. I didn't even have 50. I didn't even have 20. And to try and survive with that amount of money, just going back to our previous topic of trying to survive in today's world, that is difficult, especially with the rising cost of everything that's going on right now. But luckily for my experience in trading, especially if I want to compare, I don't like to talk about comparisons a whole lot, but the stock market, in order to make a substantial profit, you need to throw thousands of dollars into the stock market. For crypto, you have to throw hundreds, if not even thousands of dollars into that to see anything come into play. Here, very low minimum capital. I have seen, in fact, I have personally have experienced trading with as low as $100, and I'm sure there are lower amounts that you can do. But understand the main point, to make a long story short, you don't need a whole lot of starting capital to start getting success in this industry, in this space. You can start with a low minimum amount of capital for success. Now, I'm not going to do any income guarantees. I'm not going to do that. But understand, you don't need a whole lot in order to begin. And it's only a few minutes a day. And we're going to talk about one of those ways that you only need to do this a few minutes, 5 to 10 minutes out of your day. And if you don't have 5 to 10 minutes out of your day, I would, to be transparent, check your schedule, because everybody should have 5 to 10 minutes a day to breathe. But coming back to my main point, you only need a few minutes a day in order to trade and have success. So let's talk a little bit about our journey right here. As I've said before, our team has decades of real experience in the industry. We have created legitimate winning strategies. Our community already has a lot of success stories, and you're going to see that in our community when you decide to become a part of our amazing family. You're going to hear stories left to right. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and Bob, you could back me up on this, one of our guys in our team, one of our leaders, DeVries, has already made 250, and again, no income guarantees, but he's already made $250,000 in our family. And he is one of those individuals.
Jordan, you asked me to back you up on that. Dave is he's not any income claims or doing anything to that extent, but in fact, there will be some day where he'll tell his story of his experience here. But that $250,000 was actually made in one trade in one day this past week. So we don't make income claims. I was impressed with some of his other trades that he's done and some of the things that he's teaching us and what he's learned. Now, check this out, guys. He's only been trading a year and a half. He got started in the early days of Longevity Trading Academy, even before the academy existed. And he studied and he learned. And here he is with a skill that is absolutely unbelievable. And this is what I was going to say earlier too, Jordan, is that where can you find a product that makes you money? Think about that. In our industry, in the networking industry, a lot of things is like, hey, we got this awesome product and it's the greatest thing. But what you have to do is, bring thousands of people on board to make money. So, and that's the money making aspect to it. Well, guess what? Here with Longevity, the 8-Minute Trader, Longevity Trading Academy, you have both. and when you have the potential of making more money with the product than you do with the compensation model, which is absolutely off the chain, think about that for a second. And I'll leave you with this. when I came to the conclusion that, you can average just 2% a day in gains 5 days a week and start with $1,000, that turns into a six-figure annual income. Think about that for a second. 2%. You know what 2% is of $1,000? It's $20. So if you can go on live with us in the morning and make 2%, $20, and compound that over a year's time, that's a six-figure income. Now, that six figures is elite in the networking space, in my opinion. So therefore, to be able to do that with the product alone, I would guess if you made 100 grand from 1,000, you'd probably want to tell somebody about it as well and benefit from our compensation model as well. So thanks, Jordan.
Absolutely. And again, we're not here to make any income claims. We're only here to show you the possibility of what we're doing here in this community. So again, I'm going to reiterate, our team has decades of real experience trading, and our desire is to pay that knowledge forward and make sure all of our community members are gaining that insight in order to become better day by day, week by week, month by month, trading in this field. We've created legitimate winning strategies that we're going to go over here in a couple of minutes that have already proven to help our community members compound their accounts, which is the name of the game. Compound, learning how to compound our accounts and grow them. And our community has already had a lot of success stories. Now, that was one. And we desire for you to be the next out of our success stories that we're going to have here as well. So I'm going to show first a few examples. Now, first, I want you to pay attention to this particular disclaimer up above, because this is very important, right? Trading is risky. Your results will vary and are not guaranteed. This information is for educational purposes only and is not financial advice or solicitation to invest. Each trade is at the full discretion of the user, and users are fully and solely responsible for their trading results. One should evaluate their own risk tolerance before trading and only trade with money they can afford to lose. I want to emphasize that responsibility part, because it is very easy to not take responsibility and to give that power to somebody else. But we're different in this sense that instead of giving the responsibility to somebody else, we only ask you to take responsibility of your own success here within our community and within our program. Now, you're going to look at we see that we have 4 different MetaTrader 4 accounts, and we're going to get into what that is. MetaTrader 4 is just a software that you use to trade the Forex markets. Now, you're going to see on the left side are demo accounts. And here's the beautiful thing about demo accounts. These are practice accounts. You essentially play with monopoly money, virtual money, and we're going to ask each and every one of you to do this first, because we want you to make sure that you're practicing this skill to the best of your ability and get yourself that comfortability, get yourself that confidence first before you start to trade with a live account. Now, again, these are just a few examples, and we're also, again, emphasizing that this is past results that does not guarantee future success. But again, we want to have you understand the possibility of what can happen of your success. We want to give you the understanding or open up the possibility of what can be done in this market. So let's first go ahead and talk about what this is not. This is not a startup. As Bob just mentioned, Longevity, who we are partnered with, has been around for 25 plus years. 25 plus years. So this has been a legacy company with a long, proud history. And what that does for us and what that should do for you is to have confidence that you're coming into a company that has a long-standing history and a proud tradition of being one of the most reputable companies out in the planet. You are not by yourself. Again, we have a community of people that want to encourage you, support you, and push you towards the prosperity that awaits you. And what this is also not is some long, slow, confusing journey. Now I know what long, slow, confusing journey is, not to make this about myself, but I know the difference between being stuck on a journey that's long and confusing. And I also know the difference of exponentially growing my skills. And as a personal story, I do feel this I've been able to grow my skills exponentially since being a part of this family. And I'm forever grateful to be a part of the 8-Minute Trader community and family. So, as far as how to do all this, as far as what we're teaching about financial success, we've got 3 very simple steps. Number 1, you turn the computer on. And number 2, get on short live calls. Number 3, learn to profit. Now, I don't mean to make this I don't mean to make it too simple. I don't mean to dumb it down or break it down into these 3 simple, easy steps. However, that is it. These are really just the steps you need in order to be successful here. So, now let's talk about specifically what these winning strategies we have that has allowed all of our community members to be successful. And our first is the live daily trade call. Now, this is a particular strategy where at around 9:15 a.m. Eastern, 8:15 a.m. Central, 7:15 a.m. Mountain, 6:15 a.m. Pacific, and I'm not going to go through the other time zones, but at that particular time, it's about 15 minutes before the market is open. And what we do is we get our trading accounts ready to go to trade the US 30 market. And we have one of our excellent leaders, Coach Maurice Katz, who's been trading it in the financial markets for about 20 years. He leads a call in order to take trades. And we stay on this call for about 5 to 10 minutes. We market this as the 8-minute trader call, but I would say the average is about 5 to 10 minutes. And now, am I going to say that each and every one of these days is a win? No, it's not 100%. We do take losses in there, but as we'll get into, losses are part of the plan. However, a majority of the times that we're on these calls, and Bob, I'm sure you can back me up on this because I know you're another participant on these calls. But I would say a majority of the time we end up winning on these calls.
Oh, for sure. And I think the statistics is about 70%, but 70%, I mean, think about that. If you batted 700 in the Major League Baseball, how many millions do you think they pay you a year? So it's been really great. Coach Mo does a tremendous job. It's a very difficult job to get on there and be transparent and show what you're doing, but it builds the community. And like you said, we do win. We go on runs. I think our best run right now is about 17 days in a row without a loss. Some days we break even, some days we lose, but that's part of the plan. You cannot be 100%. I mean, if you find something that's 100%, go for it. But typically speaking, and I'll just be quite honest with people, that you've got programs that are out there that say, oh, we'll give you X amount a day, now until the cows come home. And the reality is you're sending them your capital and they are supposedly trading your capital. But you know what? When they turn off the website, your capital is their capital and you don't have any capital any longer. Here, you're in full control at all times. It's your brokerage, it's your trade. You can take money in and out anytime you want because you are in full control, just like you are of your bank account. So, this is the coolest thing ever, to be in control and compound on a daily basis.
Absolutely. And to be transparent, in order it to have success, you can only just use this particular strategy right here, and that's it. You only just need to spend these 5 to 10 minutes a day. Come on, trade when we're trading. And that's all you would really need to do in order to have success. However, with that being said, there is another product that we have. As we could see right here, our trades only last between 1 to 8 minutes. And as Bob has talked about, our 70% win ratio since we've began. Yeah. As far as what you can do on these calls, not only are you getting to watch professionals trade their own account in real time, not only the more you watch, the better you will become at knowing when and how to trade. All that right there would be priceless. When you take that away, get that confidence from being a part of that strategy and moving forward and starting to trade, all that would be fantastic. However, there's something else that we also need to talk about, and it is our alert system. Now, I did see we had a question about that. Does our software? So let's talk about our software right here, which is, and we have a name for this. It's the Rev Alerts. In this particular software, you will get exactly as the circles are telling you. You'll get an alert for when you buy a particular pair. You'll get an alert for when you need to sell a particular pair. And you will also get a recommended lot size based on your account balance to make sure that and I'm not going to go too much into depth on this. I don't want to get things too overcomplicated, but you will be able to put yourself in a position for success before and after the daily call that we had mentioned earlier. And it's not one of these particular software where we just throw it at you and, we say good luck. A lot of companies, I'm not going to mention any names, are not going to be very disparaging, but there are a lot of companies that just give you a software and say, here, take it, go figure it out. No, we have calls. We have basic training calls. We have advanced training calls where we're showing you the step-by-step process on how to become a better trader, showing you the step-by-step process on however you want to take this journey. We're going to give you all the keys, the tools in your disposal to go ahead and be the trader that you want to be. And again, you can do this on any instrument, any time frame. You learn to keep losses small and create bigger profits. This is called risk to reward. And again, we talk more in depth about that in our community. Alerts appear on your chart and can also, by the way, be sent to your phone. So you can get like a little pop-up in your they call it push notifications on the cellular phone. I sound like such a fuddy-duddy, but I don't know how else to call it. But you get a notification sent to your phone that alerts you to the particular instrument and whether you need to buy it or whether you need to sell it. Now, I talked about Albert Einstein before, right? And I just want to repeat that quote. Compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it, and he who doesn't pays it. Our community's focus is on that long-term compound interest that is going to allow us to be successful, not just for the short term, but ultimately, and most importantly, we focus on doing it for the long term. Now, I'm going to give everybody just a quick example of how compounding can work for you. Say you can earn a few percent per day and win an average of 4 days per week while losing at least one day every week. This would average out to be 9% per week. This would be 9% compounded for 52 weeks. Now, let's say that particular account that you were trading on was $1,000 an account. In 1 year, this would be $62,000. Now, again, we're not making any income claims. However, this is the example. This is an example of how our compound strategy would work. Now, that would be great, but for a lot of us, let's say, and I'd be one of those people that is a little bit of a underachiever. So even if I were to do one half of that example, that would be 32,000 for the year. Now, even if I was so terrible, right, that I can only do about a tenth of this, that would be 6,200 for the year. Now, I don't know about you, but I am confident a lot of us on this call, even if we couldn't do the 62,000, even if we were only able to do a tenth of that, 6,200 a year, an additional 6,200 a year would be absolutely amazing. It would be absolutely impactful, especially for what a lot of us have to go through right now in the world that we live in. Now, most people have no idea how powerful compound interest is when applied a little bit every day over a sustained period of time. So let's come back to what you're getting with this program. What you are getting with the 8-Minute Trader program and the community. Now, the daily 8-minute trading calls, in my opinion, would be valued at $3,000 alone, just for the insight, the experience, and the fact that we're guiding you on how to trade on a daily basis. You get trade alerts 24 hours a day. That will, by the way, include not only the future updates that are coming, and trust me, we have a few updates in the pipeline. All that is being included in the software that you're getting. Now, that is valued at $1,500 alone as well, especially when you consider that you are getting multiple opportunities to trade even after our daily calls, before and after. You get access to our trading academy that allows you to take what you're learning with the 8-minute trading calls and the software that you're getting, and it's like you're putting that on steroids with our trading academy, which is valued at $300. Our trader psychology classes with Dr. Luis Ariazo, one of our most brilliant minds that we have in the community. And again, just as a personal experience, I could say having him as a, if we want to bring up a vitamin analogy, being able to take that as a supplementary pill every Thursday when we have those psychology classes, absolutely priceless. But we do value that at $300. Advanced MT4 interface. And again, MetaTrader 4 platform, that's a platform that we use for Forex trading, but getting an advanced interface and us teaching you how to use that platform to better your trading success, valued at $500 easily. Live alert analysis calls, and you guys are in for a treat. We are about to not only see, again, coming back to the software, right? A lot of programs are just going to give you the software, throw it at you, and say good luck. No, we want each and every one of you to have the success of using the software. So we're going to go live, and we're going to teach you step by step how to use the software so that you can have increased success as you continue this journey with us. Those classes alone, valued at $500. We're going to teach you how to build a personal trading plan so that you can compound your account successfully and you can stay disciplined and make sure that you don't fall off the plan. Valued at $200. So many people need a trading plan because if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And these courses, by the way, you get a library of all the recordings that you can access with your subscription, valued at $500. Now, all of this right here, the value that we're providing so that you can become the ultimate financial provider, gaining the financial freedom, just getting the freedom in general. This is a program valued at $6,800. But I want to bring some good news. And Bob, I see that you unmuted yourself, so you probably can agree with me that this right
I'm just
here.
going to say this, Jordan, and I've got to jump off here. We've got a surprise party happening in just a few minutes, but check this out, guys. I'm sitting here listening to what you're saying, Jordan, knowing what I know behind the scenes. If you know, I'm sure we have people on here that are part of our program and some that aren't. But let me just tell you, each one of those things. I was listening to them, you know, because I'm just listening to the audio right now, and I'm going, "Are you kidding me? That's only valued at $3,000. That's only valued at 500. That's only." I'm sitting here listening to this and knowing the value of that, and just going, this is so underpriced. You know, a lot of times you get this stuff where you go, "Oh, and this value and that, and it's this. Oh, but we'll give you for the slash price of whatever." That's not what we're doing here. That the prices that are on here are way undervalued if you paid the $6,000. And let me just tell you this, I have friends of mine that paid for stuff that isn't even close to the radar of what we have here, that they've paid over 20 grand, 25 grand for classes to learn how to trade in the Forex market, and just got flustered because that the support wasn't there and all that. All of this is included in this. We're not trying to sell you guys. We're just saying this is your not even plan B. If you're looking for something that can change your life forever and generational wealth, you're looking at it for $6,000. Are you kidding me? I'm telling you that what I know, we've got people that are inspiring to me that have never traded before and are making, tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. And, if you offered that to me at $6,000, I'm in, right? That's a deal. But you go on from here, Jordan, and blessings to everybody. Thanks for having me on the call, bud. And I'll take it away.
Absolutely, Bob. I just want to say I'm very grateful for you to be on here. Take some time out of take some valuable time out of your day for coming on. So very grateful for your support and very grateful to have you as a part of my life. I do want to come back now to the, this value right here. This is valued, at just a tick below $7,000. However, it's not going to be that. It's not. The price today for signing up is just $600. $600 for all of this, right? All this is just $600 today and $200 per month. And again, I just want to come back to some of our success stories. Now, again, the past will never dictate what will happen in the present and will not dictate what will happen in the future. But you can see that some of our clients, some of our students, some of our community members are already seeing success with our community. And we want to see you. We desire for you to be a part of that success as well. And again, I'm just so grateful to be able to witness so many success stories in our community, knowing that this is just the beginning of the beginning of the beginning for where we're going. And it's not pie in the sky mentality for me. It's being realistic in the fact that we got a lot of amazing things coming. We already have a lot of amazing things, and we're very grateful. I'm very grateful to be in this position, telling each and every one of you what we have here. So what's next? Well, I'm going to tell you what's next. Get back to the person that invited you to this call and ask them for their link to join. Ask them, how do I become a part of this community right now? Ask them how I can be a part of this community right now. And we and our community will make sure that you not only get here, but we welcome you with open arms, because we believe in the 8-minute trader community. We want to make sure that you are celebrated and that you're not just tolerated. So with that being said, everybody, I know that we went a little bit longer than planned, a little bit longer than anticipated, but I do want to just say thank you for taking some valuable time out of your day, for coming on and learning a little bit more about what we do here as a trading community. I'm grateful for each and every one of you for being here, and I hope that you have a absolutely amazing rest of your day, an absolutely amazing rest of your weekend. And before we go, I just want to impart you with 3 very important statements that I want to submit to you. I submit to you to be great. I submit to you to be favored. And I submit to you to be the person that you desire and that you're destined to become. Thank you.